Hello students, thank you so much for joining me for another video of Jump Out of the Sugar Taxi. In the last video, we were talking about the differences between maintaining a long-term diet or at least a long-term lifestyle versus a quick fix diet, and how you need to create a healthy lifestyle. A lot of the clients, when they come to see me, will be talking about their schedule and their diet and the reasons why the diet is not sticking, how many diets they have tried, and what is the lifestyle. And that's the first things that we need to look at, especially for women, in which we're always taking care of everybody else except ourselves, especially moms. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to look at your calendar, and let's start with a weekly calendar and look and see how many hours do you work every day. Then see how many hours are you sleeping every day. The truth is that none of the diets are going to work if at least you're not sleeping between 8 to 10 hours. Also, I want you to look to your water intake. Beginning steps are, in order for you to be able to make yourself a priority, and of course we were talking about self-love and inner peace and self-care here. In order for yourself to make yourself a priority, the first thing you need to do is to look at the schedule that you have now. Look at how many hours you work. Look at how many hours you're dedicating to another activity. What is the schedule, of course, if you have children? When do you pick your children up for school? When you drop them off? And I want you to schedule everything that you will normally do in a week right now. And what we need to start thinking is that at least for 3 or 4 hours a week, you need to be able to have an hour or two by yourself, but without being rushed. I have a client that was coming to see me, but constantly she was being called on the phone while she was with me. If you have that kind of life right now, in which there's no time for you, even when you are doing things, somebody's calling you because they need something, or texting you because they need something, then you really need to start telling the people around you no. So we also sometimes need to learn how to tell the people around us, no, I am not available right now. We need to be able to do this in order to decrease the stress, because the stress creates chemicals that also affect your diet. Also, one thing we didn't talk about in the last video is that what we want to do is we want to create a known image of yourself physically. And this was a very difficult thing for me privately, because I feel pretty much the same that I felt when I was 140 pounds. But when I was looking myself at the mirror, I was seeing this woman that looked like she was 230 pounds. So it might be good for you to take a picture of how you look now, and then compare with a picture of your ideal weight. And when I'm talking about ideal weight, I'm not talking about the weight that you used to have or be when you were 15 years old, if you're a 40-year-old. What we want to find out is what it is your ideal weight. So most people, we want to go at least 20 pounds down where you're weighing right now. Anything is better than nothing, right? So we want to start by looking at ourselves and remembering how we felt and how we look on that ideal weight. Some people have been so long that they don't remember how they should feel. And that is extremely important, because when you remember how you feel, you're going to tend to attract those things and that health style or lifestyle that you used to have before. It's also good to remember what things do you used to do when you were 140 or 150 pounds, whenever that weight that you look as an ideal weight you were. So you want to look at those activities. For example, I remember that I used to go twice a week. I used to go dancing, or I go bowling with my family once a week. Or I used to go 4 times a week. I used to go to the gym. Okay, so maybe now you can't go 4 times a week, but maybe you can do twice a week, and then the other 2 days you can do yoga for free at home. There's plenty, even in Audible or in Gaia.com. There's so many things right now that are free that you can do at home. So this is what the beginning steps that we need to do. Also, I know that a lot of people really hate scales because it reminds them constantly of their failure to be able to lose weight. However, we need to be able to know how much you weigh. So your resistance to not check your weight has to be overcome. The only way to do that is by buying a scale, stepping on the scale, record how much you weigh, and then I don't want you to weigh once a week. I think that's too much. A lot of the doctors, they recommend once a week, but I think that when you're trying to lose weight, that is kind of disappointing. Sometimes it's, oh, I didn't lose that much this week. And some weeks you might lose 3 pounds, and in other weeks you might go up 1 pound. So I want you to weigh yourself once a month. But I want you to know that at least once a month you have to weigh yourself in order for us to tell the difference. This is our first video, but in our second video we're going to be talking about keto, genesis, and ketosis, and we're going to be talking about different diets that are out there, and I'm going to recommend some little changes. That's another thing. You don't want to start by doing 5 or 6 or 10 different changes at once. First, you want to be able to weigh yourself once a month, and then drink water. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but I want you to start thinking about little changes and then repetition. If you have to start with 1 change a week or 1 change a month, it's better than nothing, because we're looking at maintaining that. Not so much at being successful at it, but as a persistence of maintaining repetition and maintaining the law of repetition and association. I'll see you in the next lecture, and thank you so much for listening to me today.